If you swallow gum, it stays in your stomach for 7 years.
Huh?
That's what they told us. 7 years. Like our bodies were just gum storage units. And we believed them. Turns out, complete lie. And that's just the start. Look, I get it. Parents were trying to keep us alive. Childhood is basically a series of near-death experiences held together by juice boxes and poor judgment. But somewhere along the way, they started just making things up. And the wildest part? Some of these warnings were total fiction. Some were technically true, but weaponized for control. And just a few, were actually kind of valid, but delivered with the energy of a doomsday prepper. So today we're breaking down the greatest hits of parental propaganda. The lies, the half-truths, and the rare moments they were actually onto something. Let's go! If you swallow gum, it stays in your stomach for 7 years. This one is aggressively false. Like, not even close. Your body doesn't digest gum, sure, but it doesn't just camp out in your intestines like it's on a lease. It passes through in a couple days, like everything else. 7 years would mean that every piece of gum you swallowed as a kid would still be inside you right now. You'd be a walking gumball machine. But here's the thing, parents needed this lie, because kids were out here swallowing gum like it was a competitive sport. And yeah, if you swallow a lot of gum in a short time, you could theoretically cause a blockage. But that's not poetic enough for a warning. So they went nuclear. 7 years. Oddly specific. Completely fabricated. Iconic, honestly. Cracking your knuckles will give you arthritis. This one had staying power. People still believe this. But science? Science said, nah. Multiple studies like actual peer-reviewed research found zero connection between knuckle cracking and arthritis. That popping sound? It's just gas bubbles in your joint fluid. That's it. Not bone damage, not cartilage breakdown, just bubbles. Now, could cracking your knuckles be annoying to everyone around you? Absolutely. Could it make you look like a low-level movie villain? 100%. But arthritis? No. And honestly, I think parents just hated the sound. So they invented a long-term consequence to make us stop, which is kind of genius, actually. Respect. Okay, so far we've got fake medical conditions and made-up timelines. But now we're getting into the warnings that were technically rooted in truth, but got exaggerated to the point of psychological warfare. These are the ones that messed us up a little. Starting with everyone's favorite pool-related panic. You have to wait 30 minutes after eating before you can swim or you'll drown. This one has a kernel of truth. When you eat, blood flow increases to your stomach to help digestion. Technically, that means slightly less blood available for your muscles. But slightly less optimal muscle performance turned into, you will sink to the bottom of the pool and die. There is no recorded case of someone drowning because they ate a sandwich too close to pool time. None. The American Red Cross has explicitly said this isn't a thing. But every parent at every pool party acted like letting a kid swim on a full stomach was basically manslaughter, so we sat there, on the edge, watching everyone else have fun, for 30 minutes. Which, now that I think about it, might have just been about giving parents a break from lifeguard duty. Honestly, fair. Don't go outside with wet hair or you'll catch a cold. Okay, deep breath. Colds are caused by viruses, not temperature, not wet hair. Viruses. You catch a cold by being exposed to someone who has a cold. Being cold or having wet hair does not give you a virus. That's not how biology works. Now, could being cold weaken your immune system slightly, making you marginally more susceptible if you're already exposed to a virus? Maybe. The research is mixed. But that's a very different thing than wet hair equals automatic illness. And yet, every single winter, every single time, you'll get sick. Spoiler, we didn't. But we did develop a Pavlovian fear response to damp scalps, so mission accomplished, I guess. Sitting too close to the TV will ruin your eyes. Old cathode ray tube TVs, the big boxy ones, actually did emit low levels of radiation. And sitting super close wasn't great. But by the time most of us were kids, TVs were fine. Modern screens don't emit harmful radiation. Sitting close can cause eye strain. You might get tired or get a headache. But permanent damage? No, your eyes aren't going to melt. But again, parents didn't want kids 3 inches from the screen, faces glowing like little goblins, blocking everyone's view. So they turned, "this is annoying," into, "this is medically dangerous." And honestly, as a strategy, it worked. Okay, we've roasted them enough. There was one warning that was actually legit. Don't talk to strangers. Yeah, that one holds up. Obviously, the delivery was sometimes terrifying, like, every stranger is a threat, isn't quite accurate. But teaching kids to be cautious around adults they don't know, To not get in cars with people? To tell a trusted adult if something feels wrong? That's just good advice. So credit where it's due. They got that one right. But the gum thing? Still a scam. Here's the thing. Most of these warnings weren't really about facts. They were about control. Because parenting is chaos management. And sometimes the truth is too boring or too complicated or too easy to argue with. So they invented consequences. 7 years. Arthritis. Drowning. Permanent blindness. And it worked. We stopped swallowing gum. We sat farther from the TV. We waited to swim. We turned out fine. Mostly. But now we know the truth. And honestly, that's almost disappointing. Because those lies were way more interesting than reality. If your parents hit you with a warning that I didn't cover, drop it in the comments. Let's build the full archive of parental propaganda. And if one more video is like this breaking down the stuff we all just accepted as kids, subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.